Hey, we've talked about when we have prayer in a public setting, you can't discriminate between prayer for one religion or another when we're talking about government sanctioned prayer, which we shouldn't have anyway. The Lincoln County Board of Commissioners always open their government meetings with Christian prayer. And a couple of months ago, officials decided, that's a little bit questionable legally. We have to let anyone who wants to participate in this prayer participate with whatever type of prayer suits them or corresponds with their faith. This didn't last very long, as Raw Story is reporting. Earlier this week, Commission Chairman Carrol Mitchem, who previously announced that he wouldn't, quote, bow to minorities and that he, quote, ain't gonna have no new religion or pray to Allah at board meetings, held completely true to his word and walked out on the first person to address the North Carolina government meeting with a Muslim prayer. Dustin Bardo of the Foothills Interfaith Assembly, who was leading the Muslim prayer, said, quote, that was very upsetting. It was upsetting. And by the end of the meeting, all prayer ended up being banned at board meetings and will be replaced with a moment of silence. Commissioner Alex Patton initiated the motion, which was easily voted into effect. Doesn't a moment of silence make a lot more sense? And I'll tell you two reasons why. Number one, a moment of silence is not an establishment of religion in any way by the government. And religion should be separate from the government and from government meetings. But number two, it avoids anybody being offended by the place of some other religion in the meeting. Anybody can, in their mind, pray to whoever their God is, and nobody knows. And it just makes everything much more smooth. And this issue of prayer at government meetings is really starting to take on sort of delusional, paranoid vibes. Previously, Mitchem vowed to keep Christian-only prayer at meetings. So proactively saying, we're going to have prayer, but it's going to be just one type of prayer, saying, quote, I don't believe we need to be bowing to the minorities. The U.S. and the Constitution were founded on Christianity. This is what the majority of people believe in, and it's what I'm standing up for. Carrol Mitchem is clearly proof that evolution can go in reverse. I don't think that with Carrol Mitchem, the elevator goes to the top floor, if you know what I mean. Why do we even need prayer at meetings, right? Pray at home, pray with your family, pray at your church with other people who share your faith. At the meeting, just get down to business. We want religious freedom, and we hear from these individuals on the right that they want religious freedom, but it always ends up being for their religion only. And if we can just get rid of prayer at public government meetings, which we shouldn't have anyway, explain to me why we have prayer at a public government meeting, then you can resolve this problem. I'm against prayer in these government meetings, but if we're going to be able to handle Christian prayers at such a meeting, then we need to be able to handle Muslim prayers or Jewish prayers or an atheistic invocation of some kind or whatever. It needs to all be okay. People like Mitchem are the epitome of the religious freedom hypocrites that we've been covering on this show year after year. And this guy publicly showing himself to be the hypocrite that we know him to be.